I put one down, I walk around, I play the game, I go out and live it up. I dress up nice, I feel alright, I get loaded and I come home late at night. We drive around our old hometown. They lit that football field on fire in '99. The trees are bare, I breathe the air, I hold it down real deep before I let it out. I wash my hair, I take my meals alone inside the parlor. I win the war, I feed the poor, I get anxious and I curl up on the real far. I found the baby and I gave him what I got. You pet my head, put me to bed. 100 million years lit up and turned to dust.
Hi, I'm Avery, and welcome to the Transcript. This week, Culture Shock talks to the Taekwondo Club, Takeaways tries upscale restaurants, the crew looks into Smith College computer donations, learns about the recent walkout, and dives into the Pioneer Valley Ballet.
On Monday night, 7 workers working for the World Central Kitchen providing food for people in Gaza were killed in a strike by the Israeli military. An internal investigation by Israel found that the strike was unintentional, but some dispute this claim, citing the organization's vehicles were white and at least one was clearly marked with WCK's logo. In other news, on Monday, Florida's right-leaning Supreme Court ruled that the right to have an abortion was not protected under their constitution. With this, the statewide 6-week ban on abortion will take effect next month. Floridian voters will, however, be allowed to vote in November on whether or not the state should add the right to have an abortion into its constitution. In local news, on April 13th, the Northampton and Greenfield Police Departments and the Northwestern District Attorney's Office is offering to exchange people's guns for gift cards. The goal of this buyback event is to reduce the number of guns in Western Massachusetts and decrease the rates of homicide and suicide in the valley. The guns collected will all be destroyed. This is Shira Sweet, and thanks for watching.
Good evening, and welcome back to Takeaways. This week, we went to Paul and Elizabeth's and Telus Satellite Bar to find out the best fancy restaurant in Northampton.
Paul and Elizabeth opened its doors in 1970 and has been a staple restaurant in the Northampton community ever since. Their cuisine is a self-labeled natural foods restaurant specializing in Japanese fusion foods.
Telus, on the other hand, opened 2 years ago, boasting all types of cuisine. They have a bar and frequent music showings.
We ordered a drink and an entree from both the restaurants to determine which fancy restaurant is best. Let's dig in.
From Telus, the drink we got was a Shirley Temple. Sadly, they did not have to-go cup. It's actually so good.
Pretty good flavor.
I personally really enjoyed that. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10.
What's a Shirley Temple? You can't go wrong. 7 out of 10.
I'd say you can't go wrong. It's a 6 out of 10. For Paul and Elizabeth, we got this delectable rosemary-infused lemonade, which is quite different. I'll take first sip.
It's rosemary syrup.
Presentation, I think it looks incredible. It tastes is great. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10.
Personally, I was expecting a little bit more sweet from lemonade. A little bit bitter, but good flavor, 7 out of 10.
I'm a hater. I'm sorry. Get the rosemary out of my lemonade. 4 out of 10.
Now we have come to the main course. Here is the entree from Telus.
Indubitably.
Let's dig in.
Let me get some of that cheese that Maddie does not like.
Pairs nicely with all the different ingredients on here. I see some cheese, mix of meat and little potatoes. That's getting a 9.5 out of 10.
It's delicious. It's looking great. I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10, genuinely.
I've never had gnocchi before. I do love the bolognese sauce. It has a nice little kick to it, I believe.
Finally, the entree from Paul and Elizabeth's. We got their pasta special. This contains broccoli, roasted red tomatoes, pasta, and various other things. Here, let me just flip that flap down.
Flip that flap. Trademark.
Nice flavor, about room temperature. Waiter!
Waiter.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Delectable.
Personally love the flavor. 9 out of 10.
I really love the roasted red tomatoes on this. A solid 7.8 out of 10.
Telus cost 34, Paul and Elizabeth's cost 24. Paul and Elizabeth's clearly better bang for your buck. Telus wins. Telus is the best fancy restaurant. Thank you so much for watching. This was Takeaways, and we will see you next week.
On March 15th, Smith College donated computers and Wacom tablets. We talked to Jeremy Whalen, Jasmine Foe, and Michael Turnow to hear how this donation has benefited the classes.
So it all actually started with a tweet, as simple as it sounds, to the president of Smith College 8 years ago. At the time, we had wonderful resources from the PTO, the NEF, and Northampton Open Media, but we were struggling to provide enough computers to my classes, and the demand for my classes was growing. It's really important that each one of those students has their own computer resource and camera resource to succeed in the class. That tweet eventually led to an annual donation of computers. These were iMacs, and these iMacs were running some donated licenses from Northampton Open Media for the latest Adobe products.
The Smith College donations towards Jeremy Whalen's class, such as the videography class, the photography class, and the media communications class, has helped all 3 classes significantly, mainly because they've donated new Mac computers, and those are always up to date. And we can just run our programs so much smoother.
The Smith donation has really helped the class because it allows us to basically work more efficiently, and when it just comes to putting the broadcast together, it just makes everything way more efficient, having more recent technology that we can use.
The donations from Smith College have been absolutely invaluable. Barbara Pliska and her IT crew do a phenomenal job reaching out when they have extra resources and support to say, hey, we're in the next version of computers, would you like to update? This year in particular, we were fortunate enough to do that twice. That brought in over 60 computers this year alone, totaling over $38,000. These are resources that we take advantage of every day. We're utilizing that equipment, we're utilizing that software, and it's really excellent to see the students learn and grow in this kind of professional environment.
I was not expecting this donation, especially like during this time of the year. Since we just ordered some new equipment such as like cameras and like audio equipment, I didn't think that they would donate any more computers to us. Mainly the Macs that they donated are more up to date, so they will run smoother for us when we're editing and doing all that stuff. But this year they donated Wacom tablets, which is very new, and we've never had that in our classes before. So then we can start diving into like media and like graphic designs and stuff like that.
I personally was not expecting the donation. I do know that we get donations from Smith College every year, but this was a much bigger than anything that I expected. And now that we have these more recent computers, we can now run more recent software and run it much faster and at a much greater speed than we did before.
The students are operating at a very professional level. They're winning accolades and recognition all the time, and we're really fortunate to have these resources in order to do so. Thank you to Smith College and the team over there for providing us such amazing resources. The students and I are really grateful to be able to utilize those resources on a continual basis.
Thank you to Smith College for donating this new tech.
Pioneer Valley Ballet has been performing at the Academy of Music for 52 years. This spring, their production is Beauty and the Beast. We talked to members of the company to learn more about this production.
So I've been doing ballet for 14 years, and for 12 of those years, I've been dancing with Pioneer Valley Ballet.
Well, my co-artistic director, Marianne Kodzis, and I have been artistic directors of the Pioneer Valley Ballet for 18 years.
I play Jacques, who is essentially Gaston, and I also play a shadow in The Waltz of the Shadows.
So Marianne and I really make all the artistic decisions in regards to any of the productions we do, and we are the main choreographers of the production.
Pioneer Valley Ballet, as a company, is a group of dancers who are all dedicated to ballet, and we have 2 shows that we put on.
Pioneer Valley Ballet is a ballet school that's in East Oryx and East Hampton, and it puts on 2 professionally staged shows every year. One's the Nutcracker in December, and one is a spring show that we rotate between Beauty and the Beast. Last year's Little Mermaid. We've done the Firebird, and they're here at the Academy of Music, which is super special and super unique.
Pioneer Valley Ballet is such a supportive and inspiring community.
The rehearsal process, it's pretty intense. We started in February, so we really only had 2 months to put it all together.
The rehearsal process has been very tedious, very hard, very challenging.
A lot of repetition so that we can get the steps down into our brains, and then we can work musicality-wise, because there's theatrics involved in ballet. You have to be able to dance as well as act, because we're telling a story out there. We have costumes, there's lighting, there's all that, but it really comes down to the emotions that we feel when we dance.
So Beauty and the Beast has its own challenges because it really depends on clear storytelling as well as very good dancing, very good technique of the dancers. We also have to delve into characters and character study and everyone's relationship to each other. So this show in particular, it has that challenge.
Why should people come and see this show? Well, because it's awesome.
It's an amazing show. It's so magical. We have dancers that have been working so hard to put on such a great production, and it will definitely be worth your night.
Thank you so much for watching. Beauty and the Beast will be performing this Saturday and Sunday at the Academy of Music. Check out the Pioneer Valley Ballet's website for more information.
Next school year, Northampton Public Schools will face a budget deficit of over $2.75 million. This past Monday, students walked out of NHS to voice their opposition to these cuts. Students' concerns included cuts to the number of educators, increased class sizes, and a lack of access to resources for underrepresented students. At the walkout, students asked our city and state to rethink the amount of money allocated to education. They also urged Smith College to commit to a payment in lieu of taxes program. Several members of the school committee were also in attendance to hear what students had to say. We spoke to student organizers and other community members to learn more.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts has allocated $19 million for the Picture Main Street incentive. If the state were to provide even half that amount to our school district, our budgetary concerns would be greatly alleviated.
The purpose of the walkout was to raise awareness of how
significant these budget cuts are and how that affects us as students.
We also just want the city employees and our school committee members and the people who are making these decisions to actually hear us.
Well, there are two main issues. So there's school spending with one-time COVID relief funds. We got like $7 million for COVID, and we spent all of it. We got some reoccurring positions, which are like $800,000 a year. And now that we no longer have the one-time COVID money, well, we can't afford that anymore. Our school is like 200 fewer students than we had a few years ago. A lot of people are leaving the school and going to other districts, which costs the school a lot of money.
The city needs to plan appropriately. I think we are not budgeting appropriately for the needs that we have. I think that we are starting programs that, yes, are needed, but that we can't afford to run right now. If we're cutting this much from schools, then we have to reprioritize what we're doing.
I think it's really important, especially with regards to student activism, for students to feel like they can be heard. This issue will affect them directly, and so I think it's a wonderful opportunity for them to let the community at large know what they're feeling.
There was a lot of school council members there. There was 3, I think, and on the meeting that night, they talked about it, and really nice to hear that they're actually talking about what we did, and that it actually did something, and it actually impacted their lives, and our opinions helped them.
We also have not gotten a response from the mayor or the superintendent, the two people who are honestly most important to this issue. The specific issue that's trying to shine light on is not only budget cuts, but also how the budget cuts will affect students. There's been a lot of talk on how it'll affect teachers and staffing, but students are at the heart of the school district, and so truly how are they going to affect our learning environment and how we are able to conduct ourselves in school is extremely important.
Thanks for watching. The school committee will vote to approve the budget at a meeting on April 11, where students are welcome to attend and voice their concerns. See you next week.
This semester, NHS's Communication and Media Production embarked on an exciting new series called NHS the TV Show, an episodic spin-off of the weekly news magazine The Transcript. NHS the TV Show looks at providing all students with a platform for content creation and media collaboration. Produced and edited by Connor Drummond, this show airs weekly on the NHS Technology Department YouTube channel. We spoke to executive producer Jeremy Whalen and student producers to get a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the show.
I primarily run communications and media production courses, and within those courses, one of them focuses on The Transcript, our weekly video news broadcast. I'm excited to be producing NHS the TV Show. NHS the TV Show is actually the brainchild of some inspiration I got from a student, Jake. Jake was making a lot of his own videos and taking photos. Would always come with all this amazing content as we were showing pieces of that, little highlights, but we weren't showcasing the full work. So what we did was we created a spin-off TV show called NHS the TV Show. Jake and fellow students are creating different segments and collaborating with the overall class in order to do so. NHS the TV Show is going to be things like game reviews, narrative films, all put into one central location. And from there, the students do anchoring and they come up with scripts. It is really a great collaboration with the class and also the creative expression for these students as well.
When I watch the NHS the TV show, it makes me feel good that I'm in it. I make videos on NHS the TV show and I pronounce them and I do anchor.
What I hope these students get out of the class is the technical skills. So we use Adobe Premiere Pro. They're also using iMovie. But I also am focusing on soft skills, how to approach individuals to collaborate with when they need actors, how to express your creative ideas and produce an actual segment with the help of others. It is on the technical aspects. It's also the interpersonal relationships that we're developing as well.
My role is to make good videos like gaming, and then next weekend soon I'll be vlogging into the park during the weekends. I use Premiere Pro to edit my videos and I use iMovie to edit it at home.
The support that I get not only from TA that is working as a liaison, but also the paraprofessionals in the class, it really is a collaborative project. It takes a lot of focus from all fronts students included. It really is a chaotic environment, but at the same time, it's very rewarding. And to see the students, the looks on their faces, and to hear that cheering as we watch it on Fridays, it goes a long way. And I think it's really pushing the envelope of what it means not only to succeed academically, but become a community as well in a school.
I feel when I always make videos for the NHS TV show, and it's good.
Thanks for watching. To see this week's episode and past episodes in this series, visit youtube.com/NHS Technology Ed.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to go to Local Burger on Monday, April 8th and present the flyer found in your email when paying to support the junior class.
We're talking about the transcript.